Well, welcome to the BNI Effect. I'm Tony Meredith, and ordinarily I'm a business coach, but today I'm your host and fellow BNI member, bringing you another amazing interview. And today is episode number 23, and today's guest is Steve Krogh. G'day, Steve.
G'day, Tony. How you going?
I'm going great. How are you?
Fantastic. Thanks, mate.
That's good. Well, thank you for being here. Well, listen, to kick us off, can you give us a brief overview of who you are, your business, and the main services or products that you offer?
Yeah, sure. Look, we've got a business called iBuild Insurance. We're a full service general insurance brokerage. We support all industries, but I've got a passion and a history of helping businesses within the construction, building, and trade sectors. Having a background in that space makes sense to utilise those skills and knowledge to help those sorts of clients.
And how long have you been in business for?
3 years now, so it's going well. Yeah.
Very good. And when you say a full service offering, what does that mean?
We try and take a holistic approach. Often in that building and trade and construction sectors, those sorts of clients will have insurance with many different providers and many different brokers. So we try and be a one-stop shop for them, and try and provide. The aim is to provide a place where they can park all their business, and then obviously we manage that for them.
Makes sense. So how and when were you introduced to BNI?
I'll give you the short version of this, because it is. I was introduced by a friend of mine who I'd known for many years, Anthony Kalu's from Signature IT, and when I decided to step up and step out and set up iBuild Insurance, I needed some help with IT stuff. I didn't have a computer, I didn't have an email, I didn't have a website or nothing. So I rang in Anthony and just sort of said that to him. Look, I didn't even have a logo at that stage. And he said, look, come back and see me in a week. And I went back and saw him, and I had my domain name registered. I had a logo done. I had a computer sitting on the desk. Everything was set up, and I just sort of said, "Mate, how did you get all this done?" He says, "Oh, look, why don't you come and have breakfast and meet some people?" And turns out that breakfast was BNI, and I joined the week after. It was that simple.
And what was it about the breakfast that meant that you made that decision pretty quickly?
It was. What I found in the room was that, and I still find this to this day, there's a genuine want for people to be successful. And when you're starting out on your own, you're all in, and you need every dollar and every cent, and you need help from as many people as you can get. And for whatever reason, the BNI, I guess, the philosophy of givers gain, but it's not just about that. It's just that people want you to do well, and they like seeing successful stories, and everyone's got challenges. So look, it's been wonderful. Yeah, it really has.
So just in the spirit of disclosure, so I'm in Steve's chapter, and I was there at the first breakfast, and I've witnessed your growth, in the chapter over the last few years. So, mate, how has BNI specifically influenced your approach to networking?
Look, I started my own business, Tony, so I pretty much knew everything. As you can imagine, I'd come from a senior role within the insurance industry, had plenty of success. Turns out, didn't quite know everything. And I've found that whilst I always knew relationships were the key, that networking aspect was something that I never really gave enough value to. And BNI provides me with a really safe and comfortable forum to be able to grow my networking skills, which, not a lot of people like public speaking, and I dreaded it, and had I known what BNI was when Anthony invited me along to breakfast, I wouldn't have gone. And he knew that, and that's why he didn't give me too much sort of information. It was just, we're catching up with some friends for breakfast. So I thought, that's great. I love it. And the best thing is that 45-second presentation that you do each week just really hones your skills. And it's safe. If you mess a few words up, no one cares, because we've all done it. And then you get to broaden on that when you do your presentations and things like that. And it's just you feel safe and comfortable in the room.
So you mentioned that BNI provides the forum through the weekly meeting, but then on top of that, is there any other training or support that you're given, Steve?
Oh, there is, and there's a lot of webinars, a lot of online sort of content. There's books, there's reading, and there's people. You got a problem, you can pick up the phone and talk to someone, and if they don't know the answer, someone in their network will, and generally that network is a BNI person, and it's for someone who knew nothing about BNI before I came on. It's and having spent a long time working in industry associations where you're effectively multiple tools for businesses. This is for small business and large business. This is fantastic. Yeah.
Excellent. How do you measure your success of your participation in BNI?
Look, two parts for me. Firstly, our business heavily markets into that construction, building, and trade sectors. And so we do that separately to anything else. BNI has opened the doors to spread our client base into areas outside of those core industries. It's allowed the business to de-risk and diversify. The great thing is that risk management within the construction space transfers really well across to all industries and all clients, and they're starting to benefit from that. Secondly, and probably the most important thing that I value in the BNI world is the and this may sound silly, but it's the non-revenue generating aspects of BNI. We've got about 30 really successful business people in a room who every week share something about their business. They're all at different stages. Their business journey is varied, and some are really micro businesses, and some are big organisations, and they all want to share their knowledge. And as I said earlier, if you pick up the phone and they don't have a solution, someone in their network will, and it's invaluable for me. Yeah, it really is.
And how's your business evolved since joining BNI?
Well, I started BNI, I had 6 clients, and 4 of those were family members. So, I'd knocked on mum and dad's door and my brother's door and my father-in-law's door, and that was it. I was like, right, what do I do now?
Yeah.
You can't survive off a handful of car insurance policies. So, we've experienced significant growth in the last 3 years. And while it's not all BNI, it has really helped. The skills I learn, trusting the process is transferable, and BNI has processes in place. And if you don't try and reinvent the wheel, they work. And the people in the room of all scale businesses, they know the risks, they know the challenges, and they want to try and help you avoid these. So yeah, it's good.
What's an example of the processes that you're referring to?
Look, being disciplined to and accountable to the, we talk about the stats in BNI, but those tasks that you need to do that you commit to doing actually drive business, and they drive your week. And that if you've got a one-to-one with someone, or you've got a presentation coming up, it just keeps you focused. And so, and if you find yourself, I'm a big watcher and listener of podcasts, and trying to, I just enjoy listening to other people talk about business. I tend to find myself gravitating to the BNI stuff, because you're not listening to someone who has turned a $10 million business into a $100 million business. You're listening to small businesses, people who have genuinely grown a quality business, and those systems and processes and the training and information you get through BNI is great.
Well, hopefully the BNI Effect is on your podcast list now, Steve.
You betcha it has been, Tony.
Very good. What advice would you give to new BNI members to make the most out of their membership?
Follow the process. It sounds simple, but it's been tested and proven for so long. Accept that you don't have all the answers to every problem in business, and when you come in and you often see it in the room, and you feel like saying to people, "Hey, just relax." When there's no need to prove your worth here. You're in the room for a reason. We want you to be successful. Don't reinvent the wheel, because so many people have probably tried, and it comes back to those really, those foundations of the group. Trust and follow the process. If you do that, you'll be successful. Yeah.
Great advice. What's next for your business? You got any exciting projects or expansions on the horizon?
Yeah, well, we recently, I guess, hit that fork in the road for my business about, do you stay doing what you've done or doing and do it well and have a great small business looking after a nice group of clients and a book of business, or do you step sideways and invest and grow? And we chose the latter. We've just moved into a small commercial office, subletting from another BNI member. We will continue to grow, both in revenue and client number, but it will be with clients who take an interest in their insurance placement. That's the key for our business. Is we want customers and clients to not purchase just because they have to. It's an investment in the security of people's business. People underestimate, a lot of things, but without insurance, if it goes wrong, you're losing everything. And so we want people to take an interest in it. We understand it's generally at the bottom of the pile, and it's a bit of a grudge purchase at times, but we're trying to turn people's minds around that and have it that it can be actually a real part of their sort of risk management strategy. So, that's, I guess the other thing is for me, for the future, is to not just sit here and do nothing. You've got to keep looking and finding opportunities, and we'll continue to do that for sure.
Very good. And how do you see your relationship with BNI evolving as your business grows?
Look, I've learnt plenty from the BNI members over the last sort of 2 or 3 years. It's okay not to know everything. It's people need to understand that, and you can't be afraid to ask. Can't predict the future, but I certainly feel that BNI will always have a place in our business, and as we continue to grow, I can see our presence within BNI doing that as well. And as we look for opportunity with employees and staff and growing, and then other chapters and things like that. So that's the goal moving forward, is to continually use the system, and spread our word, Tony.
And if you could share one piece of wisdom with our listeners, whether they be BNI members or not, what would it be, Steve?
I learnt this, and I am going to say I did learn it from you, Tony. And this isn't a plug for you, but those 4 words that you taught me several months ago, which was "what else could I do?" has transformed my business. It really has, because I historically, I wouldn't say I'm a procrastinator. I'm a thinker. I like to just, and sometimes you just keep thinking and you don't actually get anything done. And those 4 words, I use it every day. And it's finding, even when you're chasing down, new clients, it's like, what else could I do to get them over the line? If it didn't work, what could I have done better? What didn't work? What did work? And using those things to drive our business. So, thank you for that.
Wow.
Because it really does work, and it's transformed my own mental sort of space, as far as, right, what else can I do here and what can I do there? And my days are full now, which is great.
Well, that's amazing. And firstly, thank you for saying that. And look, for those listeners out there, yeah, it's about asking better questions. When you ask a better question, a forward-facing question, then you get a better answer. And unfortunately, what tends to happen is, from a mindset point of view, our mind drifts us off into some negative, dark spaces at times. And it's about going, what else can I do? What else can I do? Where else can I turn? Who else can I speak to? Is there some new product that I can create? And you keep asking those forward-facing questions, and like you said, all of a sudden you find all these things and you get way better answers. So thank you for the plug, but more importantly, I'm delighted that you're doing it, and I'm delighted that it's working. So that's awesome.
Yeah, fantastic.
Very good. How can listeners learn more about you and your business and get in touch with you, mate?
Yeah, look, we're on all the socials. Website ibuildinsurance.com.au, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. So we're there. We've got all our contact details are there. So yeah, reach out to us if you're wanting to have a discussion or a chat about the world of insurance and risk management, and we'll have a conversation and see how we go.
Excellent. Thank you, Steve. Well, look, that wraps up another episode of the BNI Effect. We hope that you enjoyed today's discussion, and I want to extend a massive thank you to Steve Krogh for sharing his insights with us. If you found value in today's episode, please don't forget to subscribe to the BNI Effect on your local podcast platform. And until next time, keep networking, keep growing, and remember, your success is our priority here at the BNI Effect.